Forza Motorsports 4. I'm Psychotic, your host, and today we are looking at a BMW E30 M3. So, what we're going to do today is we are going to make an outrageous race car drift tune, not drift tune, sorry. We are going to make a grip tune, not a drift tune, a grip tune for use in circuit racing. So let's get started. Engine-wise, we're trying to make this S-Class and not A-Class, so in that case, really and truly, out of all three engine choices to make a grip tune out of, really and truly my favorite one to do is definitely the E36 M3 S52 motor, which is actually, in this game, it's the European version because it's the big S52 with 321 horsepower. Aspiration, like I said, we're going S-Class, so we're going to want actually a lot of power. So we're going to go a single turbo. And this is going to add some weight, but we're going to go actually to all-wheel drive to give the car a lot more grip, because otherwise it's going to be really tail happy. Of course, we're going to go to full race compound tires, widen them out, bam, bam. Like I said, S-Class means we're going to go and throw all of this in there. We're actually already broken S-Class. That surprises me a little, to be honest. I was thinking it was going to be a little harder to break S-Class with this car, just because of the nature of the beast. This is full race car mode, so I guess a cage is in order. If I go full lightweight, I'm gonna need less horsepower overall, so yeah, we are gonna go with full waste rate reduction. Did that? How did I get extra horsepower? Oh, turbo, duh. Free-flowing exhaust, we're already up to E90 numbers. Intake. Is this gonna give me some more low-end grunt? It's gonna just move it all to the top end, isn't it? Is she going to up that to a 3.4? I want 3.4 liters. It gives me a little more low-end grunt. Up the compression, and yeah, lighten it up a little bit. So we have a 2,700 pound, 467 horsepower E30. That's all-wheel drive. So this is what we've created. 467 horsepower of S52 powered all-wheel drive action in Techno-Violet Purple. So we are going to go and I think race it on Infineon and see what kind of time we can get out of it, and then do some tuning and see how well we can improve it. Okay, let's go. And it rolls all four tires over. Oh, oh, it has a cute little blow-off valve. I like that. Lots of understeer. Lots of understeer. And just taking a quick look down at the interior, like, it's actually not a bad representation of an actual E30. For those of you who don't know, I actually have a 1987 BMW E30. It's not an M3, but I do have an E30 325IS, and so I sort of know what they look like. And this actually isn't a bad representation of it. They got the 9-button OBC down there and everything like that, so it looks pretty good. So, impressions of this car so far, I haven't even done a full lap of it yet, but lots of understeer. Well, I say that, and then the rear end wants to come around. It's actually not all that unneutral. It's not far off being pretty neutral. I can certainly chuck it into a corner. And it comes out of the corners pretty hard too, so that's that all-wheel drive grip we have throwing up underneath it. Oh, I actually got a little bit of slide out of that. So let's see where we're at, what our baseline is now. First lap doesn't really count because we started from a dig. Slid off the course a little bit there, but we're fine because all drive. It actually isn't all that bad. It's doing pretty well. It's gonna need some tuning though, I can say that. Like, I need to be able to throw it in the corners harder. And mainly it's the fact that I have all-wheel drive and a lot of understeer that stopped me from putting it into corners a little harder than I am right now. Pretty quick through there, on the brakes, turn in. Just pushed it a little harder than I was last turn, or last time through there, and I think that paid off. Fact of the matter is, you just kind of point and shoot with this car. Went off the track a little there, but you just kind of throw it into a corner, let the car come around, and then you just gun it, because the all-wheel drive just catches you, and it's just like cradles you. The car's actually pretty easy to drive, in all honesty. 141 is not bad. We're gonna throw this. I feel like what I need to do is probably bias the power a little more to the rear of the car, because we have plenty of power. I just want a little more oversteer, a little more throttle oversteer. And not having quite as much power to the front is not gonna hurt it a massive amount. Yeah, because definitely understeering a lot. That's definitely what I'm getting out of this right now. A lot of understeer. Car is actually a really fun little car to drive right now. The E30s are fun enough to drive in real life, and I know I sort of sacrilegiously swapped a E36 M3 motor into the front of a perfectly good E30 M3, and then made it all-wheel drive, which is even more sacrilegious to the thing that makes up an E30, but I feel like I've made a much faster car because of it. Okay, let's do some tuning. Okay, so we have all-wheel drive. We can actually up these a little bit more. That'll actually add to our acceleration slightly. Those I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the gears alone in this. We want some more turn in, so we're gonna up the camber quite a bit, and then do the rear too, so it follows along. Front, we're gonna a little bit of toe in, or toe out, excuse me. That should help us with our turning just a little, and lower the caster just a little bit. We're gonna really stiffen up the rear bars and springs. Lower our ride height all the way down. Like I said, we're gonna sort of add some stiffness to everything, and then do some fine tuning as we go along. Don't feel the brake can be any different. Power is already at 65% rear. We're going to up that to 70, and we're going to change this diff in the rear to a 60-40 setup. And yeah. Okay, so we're back in the car after the tune has been put in place for the suspension and everything, and we're going to see how well it does now. There's a lot more oversteer. Maybe too much. We'll see. But I think the fastest time we got last time was like 141 something. So we're going to see what we can get out of this. Definitely turns in harder. But I don't feel like I'm coming that much harder out of the corners. There, I came out harder. Yeah, definitely holding much more into the corner. Definitely tucked in a lot better. On the brakes. Brakes are really good for not being adjusted percentage-wise. Car's doing exceptionally well, actually. Even for just a first lap on cold tires. Right there, it runs a little wide, but that was actually still more tucked in than it was before. And heading down into the hairpin. I'm gonna rant a little bit how much I like this course. This is like, if you've played Forza 4, especially online, this is like the definitive course. Like, this is what everyone loves to race on. I mean, like, it's just like, it's such a well-balanced course on this game. And I ran that really wide, still running it really wide. Okay. We're gonna forget that happened and just keep on going and get a better lap time next lap. Because now we're finding out the weak points in the car. That it wants to slide out a lot more than we want it to. Okay, so now that hideous lap is over, let's see what we can do for real now. Don't like the fact that I really have to let off there. It was more composed through there for sure. Probably should have selected the gear before going into that turn. It's very neat and composed this time around, and our time is showing it. That's 3 seconds off our fastest time already. And like I said, the car is being very well composed right now. Unfortunately, this isn't going to count as a clean lap because my last lap was so terrible. But the car's doing real well. Runs really wide off that turn still. It runs desperately wide off that turn. Shifted down too much there. Yeah, I haven't played this game in a little while. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm shifting down sometimes when I really don't need to. Since I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 2, and that game's mechanics are just so much different. Alright, let's do this. Actually, I have a clean slate to work with, even though that first turn was just terrible. Last lap was a 140, so it was faster. Really and truly, if I could get this car down to, shoot, into the 130s, I think I'd be pretty happy with it. Because let's be honest, it's not going to be one of the fastest cars in the game. This car's probably better in A class, but we're just putting it in S class to see if it could be a contender. And really and truly, most of the time, if you can get a car to 138, 139 on Infineon, then at least on Infineon it's going to be a decently competitive car. I mean, it's not going to be, considering there's 135 and gosh, there's 130 cars, online on this game, even still now. Taking a car that's probably not necessarily the best car in the game, putting it with a driver who hasn't played this game in a while, and then pushing it to the limit here, yeah, you're probably not going to get massive amount better than probably a 137 out of me right now in a really fast car. So, if I can get this car into the 130s when it's not going to be the fastest car in the game, then I think I've done pretty well. If the power too much there. That blow-off valve sound is so cute. It's just so I just love it. I love it so much. All kinds of sideways, just for LOLs. Oh my gosh, this thing gets sideways for a little all-wheel drive car. That's what you get when you have 467 horsepower, though. Sad part is, I think this is actually going to be decently quick, even with the slides. Even as slow as sideways goes. It rhymes. Yeah, it's actually faster. Ooh, okay. And we're going to see how we're doing now. I've done a few more adjustments. Get a quick lap in here, and then we'll throw down on the hot lap. And see how it does. I just went off the track right there. Okay, and off we go into the wild blue yonder to see how fast we can get this purple grip machine to go around this course. Now that we've done our couple of extra adjustments here and there. And mainly that I adjusted, which is a couple little percentages here and there. Like I took a little bit, like 2% of the power away from the rear and added it back to the front. And I added a little more rear stiffness to the bars and to the suspension. Wow, that's a lot better than it was. Okay, so we now have an official clean 140. Can we get it into the 130s? Yes, this is what I want to be doing. Doing well now. Honest to gosh, I was sitting, after class let out today, I was sitting in my room watching reruns of a show called Are You Faster Than a Redneck? Which, if you don't know, was a show, it's not on TV anymore because the channel it was sponsored by, or the channel that was running it, I can't remember who it was, Velocity maybe? Speed Channel is running it, is what it was. And, sorry, that's an American thing if you're not in America, sorry. Basically it was where tuners and import cars, BMW included, were basically invited down to, Carolina Motorsports Park to run against basically super tuned muscle cars, is my opinion of them. And yeah, so they liked picking on BMW, so I figured I'd go and I'd build one. I was kind of inspired to build an E30 for some reason, but yeah. Oh my gosh, we're so close. We're so close. Shouldn't take, but just a little bit more. And it's just like I'm enjoying driving it so much. I don't care that it really isn't getting like really fast times. I mean, I could probably go in and tune it a lot more, and if I was a little better driver than I am, I could probably get it. I mean, I could sit here and lap for hours and probably get it to to pull off a sub 140 lap time easily eventually, but it's just like it's not what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to accomplish, can I get it easily? Can I do a little bit of adjustment and get the time I want? It's just like I don't want to sit here and lap for hours, because I mean that kind of defeats the purpose of having a car that right now it looks like we're gonna barely get into that 130 range, but if we get into it, it's kind of tense right now because I'm trying to push the car to its limits, and I just messed up and missed a gear so hard. Not missed, but downshifted way too early. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Yes! Ah ha ha! We have made it into the 130s. Okay. So that's going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. We accomplished a lap time of 139.911, so just barely into the 130s, which was our goal for this car. So we did take an E30 M3, and we did make an S-Class car, and we did go to Infineon, and we did run in the 130s around the course in a hot lap. So, yeah, would this car be competitive online? I feel like if I sat down and did some honest to gosh, really hardcore long-term tuning and really learn how to drive the car even more properly, I feel like I'd be running at least mildly competitive. There's still a lot of tuning that needs to be done to the car and everything like that, and I probably should add some rear downforce with an adjustable wing, even though I don't like the way it looks. It would probably make the car a lot faster if I adjusted that in and add that in, but neither here nor there. We've accomplished what we wanted to today, so hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and hopefully subscribe if you did. I'm going to be trying to do a couple of these here and there while I get the money for an Xbox One, because right now obviously I'm on 360. So leave a comment below on other cars maybe you'd like me to play with and see what I can get out of them. I'm not the best tuner, the best driver in the game, but I'll certainly do what I can. And so yeah, hope you guys have a good one. So peace out.